Okay, here we go. Welcome. Return to Center Mondays. Ah, this is one of my mantras. Return to center and hold middle ground. Hold the middle. These are my mantras lately, especially with everything going on in the world between the election and COVID and all these other things that are constantly pulling us off our center, off that center through line in the middle of the yin yang. So in the middle of the day, I'll say, come to center, or I'll say, hold the middle, or hold the middle ground. I just have these words that I say, these little mantras that kind of bring me back to that center. And this is how it is. It's like, come to center, come to center. And that's what we're doing in this class. And hopefully we just keep doing this in the class over and over, and we incorporate it into our everyday lives. So let's come to center. Feet touching, Wu-Chi posture. Remember Wu-Chi, the circle, oneness, whole, undifferentiated energy. That state of being before yin or yang. I'm neither. When we're holding this posture, we're neither yin nor yang. When we start moving, yin and yang arise in the movement. And then we start like a pendulum going back and forth between that yin and yang. But right here in this posture, just Wu-Chi, undifferentiated, neither, neutral. Put your awareness in heart center right here. Turn the hands over, feel heart center open and soften. Notice how the head tilts up just a little bit. The sun, feel the sun or rays of sun. Doesn't matter if you have it coming in your window or not. Just imagine rays of sun coming in right into third eye, filling your system. Try to feel the rays of the sun coming into your palms, in your laogongs, those energy gates in the center of your palms. And just receive, still in this Wu-Chi posture. Notice we begin and end every practice in Wu-Chi. Begin the sacred cleansing breath in through the nose, hot audible exhale through the mouth to start to put the body into parasympathetic rest digest state. You should get to the point where even if you hear someone else doing the breathing, you start to relax. You start to go into that state, even if it's not you doing it. Now relax the hands, bend both knees, step out with a flat, empty foot, nice and slowly. Notice I could pull it away at any moment. My right leg is totally yang, all the energy there. My left leg is empty, yin. And then I sink into that yin leg. And I'm going back and forth, side to side, just letting the body unravel. But notice now I've begun yin and yang, back and forth like a pendulum. I've come out of that Wu-Chi posture, that Wu-Chi state, and I'm ready to begin my practice. And now from the side to side, go right into forward and backwards. Feel the chi, hands flowing through water. We're rocking forward to the balls of the feet and rocking back to the heels. And again, feet are not coming up off the ground. I'm still very much rooted with my feet into earth. Don't let them come up. It's just a pressurizing of the heels and then the balls of the feet. And as you're rocking back and forth, feel that lulling sensation, that lulling into a state of calm, like you're on an old rocking chair on a front porch of the house, looking out into a sunrise. And just allow yourself to just rock back and forth, catch the momentum. Feel the chi as you push against it, rocking you. Feel the chi against your hands. Should feel very calming. Relax the hands, just let them just come to center. Good. Root into earth, feel your feet bottoms, feel the palms of your hands, rooting into earth like a huge, like an oak tree, just rooting, looking for that life force energy in the earth and sucking it up into your being. Cup the hand and begin the tapping. This is our unblocking phase. Down the inside, up the outside. Unblock, unblock, unlock, unleash. Don't forget shoulder blade. Armpit, massage, open up the lymph nodes. And you know, you can kind of, one of the little things I noticed recently, when I get the armpit, I can bring my thumb right in here and I could almost get the area underneath the collarbone that we often do at the same time with my thumb. So that's just a little thing I noticed. And drum the ribs, activate those organs. Come across, pick it up on the other side, down the inside, up the outside, shoulder blade. Armpit. Get the thumb underneath the collarbone too. That's just kind of if you're in a rush and you need to do both at once. If I'm not in a rush, I take the time and I get under each of the collarbones. I'm doing this side. I actually like to do it a little bit better with these two fingers. For some reason I can get in there better. Good. Thymus thump, boost the immune system. Breathe. Exhale, any holdings, let it go. Let it go with the breath. Remember if we did this side, but let's make sure we get the ribs here. Can't hurt to do it again if you don't remember. Dantian. Snap. Dantian, we snap with the fingers. Gentle fists. Lean forward a little bit, kidneys, adrenals. Rub. Sacrum. And legs. Again, you can bend over. You can put your foot on a table and do it like this, no problem. Don't forget to use your fingers and get all around the ankles. Really important. Use your fingers, get those ankles. Both sides. Take your time. If your knees are bothering you, give a little extra to the knees. You can do it this way, standing up, if you want to get some balance out of it. Bending over. And end with those two hip bones right in front here. Give those a few taps. Gentle fist or open hand, either way. Back to Wuchi. Check in, see how you feel from the tapping. See how you feel from unblocking some of that blocked energy that you've got in you. Let the body move. You may need to recalibrate. If it does, just let it move. And then we do the bounce part of our routine. And remember the bouncing, fire breath, in and out the nose. You can sync it up with the up and down with the bounce. So all with the nose. And then when I say Wu Chi, remember we come back and inhale through the nose, exhale, hot audible through the mouth, and just letting all of that stagnant energy just release out the palms. Feel like there's gray or black smoke coming out the palms, the laogongs. So here we go. Let's do our bounce. Back to Wu Chi. Let the body move if it needs to. Anyway, any old way it wants to move. Next bounce, we're going to do even more relaxed than the first one. Let the muscles go. Just let the body go. Let the muscles feel like fruit dangling from a tree. And intermittently tap the heels. Just a few times, 2-3 times. Don't make a big deal out of it. The tapping the heels sends the energy up the body as we're bouncing. We don't tap the heels at night because it does send the energy up. And at night, we want the energy to come down and settle. So we don't ever tap the heels. And tapping the heels, I just mean this. Every so often, so I'll bounce, bounce, bounce. And then every so often, I'll tap the heels. But again, only in the morning practice. So bounce, more relaxed this time, even more. Whatever you were last time, more. Let it go. Back to Wuchi. Let the body go. Sink left. Push off the left foot, feet together, and we'll do one tension and release. Remember, we're going to squeeze the whole, everything, head to toes, and then we're going to purse our lips and bleed it off through the mouth. So here we go. Inhale, tense. Exhale, bleed it off. Let it go. Let's do one out to the sides. Remember, whichever way that the wrists are, do them the opposite way. Here we go. So we inhale as we go into the posture, and then we bleed it off with the exhale. Here we go. Inhale. Wrists. Exhale. Let the body go. Bend both knees, step out, flat, empty foot. And here we go. Now we get into flow. This is whole body breathing in front of lower dantian. Inhale, exhale. This is using the breath to marry the mind with the body. Inhale, exhale. Notice there are no breaks or pauses between my inhale and exhale. There is this little moment of transition from inhale to exhale and exhale to inhale. But you won't see it in my hands. You'll just see the transition, smooth, not fragmented. So we'll all be doing this a little bit differently because I want you to ride on the speed of your own breath. Let your body open and close with your inhale and exhale. Don't change your breathing. Just try to make your own breath slow, smooth, long, and even. And connect your body with it. Got to be fully present for whole body breathing to make that connection between mind and body. You can see I'm connected. This would be not connected. I would look like this. You can see it. I'm not connected at all. Now I'm connected right here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Move it up to heart. Exhale. This is just the same thing, whole body breathing, but doing it at heart center. How many times do you do this? Until you're connected. You know, when the connection happens, you can feel when you're connected or not. As soon as you have the connection, okay, done, on to the next thing. So let's do spinal cord breathing from here. Inhale, chest up, look up. Exhale, round the back, sink the chest, tuck the sacrum. Inhale, open, chest up, look up. Exhale, sink the chest, round the back, tuck the sacrum. Notice my body is like a C shape. Show you from the side. Inhale. Exhale. Eventually, I want you to go on your own rhythm here. Ride the rhythm of your own breath. That's my new way of kind of saying that. Ride the rhythm of your own breath. As your legs get stronger with this one, you could come lower. That's good too. This would be lower. Keep the breath though. That would be on the exhale. Work at your own speed. Work at your own level. Most important is you feel it. Feel it in your body. Let it seep into your systems. One more. Sink the chest round the back as you come out of it. Gazing at the moon, pigeon toe the feet slightly, look through the hands. Feel your quad pump in the middle. Feel your quads, both of them, your groin regions folding. As I come and turn and look at the moon, I gaze at the moon to the right. My right quad or groin is folding at the crease. As I come to the left, my left quad or groin is folding at the crease. So I'm pumping my lymphatic system manually when I'm doing this one. And I'm also twisting and turning at the spine. So this is the 4 movements of the spine to keep it healthy. We did 2 with spinal cord breathing, and this is the other 2, gazing at the moon. You can do this one, or you can do dragon looks behind. That's another one to get at the twisting of the spine. Let your breath be natural in this one, however it needs to go. It'll do it on its own. One more. Come to center. Let the hands slowly come down. Slowly. Everything is controlled. Nice and slow. Get the feet parallel again and a little bit of washboard. Inhale. Turn the hands over. Push the chi down into earth. Exhale. Once I start my Qigong movements, now I'm breathing in and out through the nose. Tip of tongue on roof of mouth behind front teeth. I only do the cleansing breath at the beginning when we're doing the unblocking. With the unblocking, I'm using that sacred cleansing breath to get rid of stagnant energy in the body. Once I'm in the Qigong movements, now I'm back to just nasal breathing. Let the hands settle. Leave one hand down, pointing towards earth, pushing. Let's do heaven and earth press. One hand pushing into earth, bring the other hand up, turn the palm over, and push. Feel this sensation right here of pushing up to heaven, down into earth, and look up at the top hand. Hold on, just a little camera adjustment. Look up at the top hand, And then let it come down. Pinkies kiss, remember, pinkies pass each other. And spiral open the other side. Push, heaven and earth press. And unravel. Coil up. Unravel as you press. Coil in the transition. Pinkies pass each other. And uncoil into the press. Go at your own speed, nice and slow. Feel the body like a dragon, coiling, uncoiling. The uncoiling is always on the press. The coiling is happening in between, the transition as the pinkies pass each other is the coiling. Then the pressing is the uncoiling. One more. Oh, really feel the stretch. One more each side. From here, wherever you are, it doesn't matter which hand is up. Hold it up. Toes get pointed out. And then we're going to go right into yin-yang arms. Bring the arms around and come down. Notice I look like a yin-yang symbol. Come up, arms rotate. As the arms come into yin-yang, I come down into low horse stance. High horse stance as the arms move. Low horse stance as they come into their final posture. You can inhale on the movement and exhale on the final. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Top hand, let it come down, floats down slowly. Take your time. And we're going to go right as you're into this horse stance already. Let's just warm up the legs. Just make sure they're ready to go. So I come down inside the knee and up the outside. Down inside the quad, the thigh, around the knee and up the outside. Just to warm them up a little bit. Good. Hands back. In that Wu Chi posture, but in horse stance, make sure that your toes are straight over your feet. We don't want the toes, the knee is never past the toes. It's always back behind the toes. If your knee is past your toes, you may be too narrow in your stance. Notice this. This is my knees are past my toes, not good for the knees. So what does this mean? I need a wider stance. So always check yourself, self-correct. Make sure that when you go up and down, the knees don't pass beyond the toes. So you need to go wide enough. So hands flowing through water, side to side. Try to make this smooth. Notice the hands come around the corner, right here. They come around the corner and my body starts going in the opposite direction. My body switches sides and my hands follow. My hands are like a second behind. So I shift the weight and now my hands are, oh, I need to come around the corner and follow you. And now I shift the weight, my hands are, oh, come around the corner and follow her. And just let that happen naturally. Don't get too caught up in it. My fingers are mostly pointing down towards earth. On an angle, but down towards earth. Not straight ahead. Breathe naturally. However you need to breathe on this one, just keep doing it. Next time, everybody come in this direction. Mirror me, as if you're looking at me in the mirror. Now come over top and come into a high horse stance, and then come down low. Check out this feeling. This is a little different. High horse stance, lower. When I say low, low means at your level. This is just some silk reeling. Try to make this fluid, not fragmented, no pauses, no breaks, as smooth as you could make it. So you see how this one is a little different because we're getting high. Hands go high, body goes high. Hands go low, body goes low. Switch it. Same thing. I'm just going in a different direction. I'm making this oblong oval shape. Notice the weight shift. Coming down, weight shift to the other side. Come up into high horse stance. Weight shift, down. Other side, high horse stance as the arms come up. Next one, hands come over to this side. I'll wait for everybody to get there. Beautiful transition into swatting at the ball. Imagine there's a ball hanging right here and you're swatting at it. Name of this one is inside parry. It's the opposite of cloud hands. The cloud hands, our arms are going to the outside. This where the hands are going towards the inside. And the bottom hand, make sure it's alive. This bottom hand, groin strike, block. Top hand blocks, bottom hand groin strike. Think of the top hand as a block. A punch is coming towards your center line. You're blocking it and you're striking down below. I brought my feet in a little bit. I'm no longer in horse stance. I've got a little bit wider than normal, than shoulders width stance. But I'm no longer in horse. I came out of it. We're going to go from this one right into cloud hands in a moment. Just hold this one for a while. Inside parry. Cloud hands is outside parry. Notice the weight shift. Notice how both hands are alive, filled with chi. Pushing. I really feel like, I'm pushing against the chi. I'm blocking. Blocking. Everyone come to this side. Move to the other and switch. Many ways you can do that. Now I'm going into cloud hands or outside parry. So notice my block now, instead of going towards the inside, the block is here, whack, right? And the bottom hand is still doing the same thing, groin strike. It's just now I'm blocking towards the outside. Just like in the Yang style Tai Chi form, notice, shift the weight. This is really important. This is tongue. As the top hand pushes down, the bottom hand comes up. And it comes right past my wrist. Right here, see my watch? Right past the wrist. So as the top hand pushes down on energy, it creates this pung, pung. Turn the waist, pung. Turn the waist. I'm doing cloud hands from Yang style Tai Chi. I'm just not moving my legs. We're just doing everything that the upper body needs to do, except without moving. Bottom hand is striking. Pong. Pong. Notice this. It all happens. The weight shifts.
Thinking something else is rising. Keep going. I think my headphone just gave out, but I just want to make sure. Keep going. Okay. Can you all still hear me? My headphones just gave out. Give me a thumbs up. Good. Okay, I'll talk a little louder. No big deal. Here we go. We're going into the next thing. Stop here. I want you to take the energy in your hand and put it in this bottom hand. Let me show you from the side. I'm taking it right from here, cloud hands. I stop here. Cloud hands is always the outer hand on the top. And I'm going to take the energy from my palm and put it in this hand. I want you to feel that sensation of putting it. Let me give you this side. Putting it there. And what does it do? When it feels that chi, boom, here it goes. Now it goes up. And it becomes, this hand covers dantian. This hand becomes cloud, leaf blowing in the breeze. Leaf blowing in the breeze. So you see where I'm just finding these transitions? You can find them, you just have to look for them. My other hand is covering dantian, but it's floating over dantian, which is 2 inches below my belly button. Make sure it's your palm that's covering dantian, not your fingers. Notice how I'm swiping through lower dantian, back of the hand, through heart center, middle dantian, and then the leaf floats up in the air through upper dantian. Now my palm is out. So only through heart center does the palm flip. So notice, palm is towards me through heart center. Next time around, palm will be away from me through heart center. That's the only thing that changes in leaf blowing in the breeze, is the palm is away, then it's towards, and it goes back and forth with the movement. Don't get too hung up in it. You can do this one in high horse stance, or on the bottom, you can come low if you choose to, and then come up high into horse stance. Or you can do the whole thing in a high horse stance. Up to you. Many variations. I'm giving you the structure, but I want you to find the freedom within the structure to play with this energy. Have fun with it. Here we go. Ready to give it to the other hand? Right here. Watch. Boom. Same thing. Boom. I'm just showing you a few times. The other hand takes it. This covers dantian. Now the other hand floats. Palm out. Feel how the arm and hand get light. Really imagine it's just your hand is this leaf. It's a breezy day. It's just floating in the wind. And it's following the body. My body is shifting, and this arm is just coming along for the ride. Smooth. No pauses or breaks. If the hand over dantian gets tired floating, let it touch dantian. That's okay too. It's a variation. You can come down if you'd like, right there. Feel the twisting of the lungs, of the rib cage, opening, twisting, coming loose. Last one, as the arm comes up, Just let it slowly float down. Doesn't matter which arm came up, just let it float down. Hold hands in front of Dantian, but without touching, and a little bit of breathing here. Notice how we can work in some standing postures, and you can heel toe, bring your feet into shoulders width, get a more comfortable neutral stance, and notice I'm just lining up my palms with Dantian, and I'm doing a little bit of breathing right here, little skin breathing as I'm coming to center, catching my breath from the movements. Hold the standing posture. We're halfway through. If anyone wants to take a sip of tea or water, this is a good time. When you're finished, come back to Wu Chi. Come into horse stance, fists down at hip bones, and we're going to do a little bit of that neurological mastery. Okay, so this is working our legs, our balance, but also the brain, neurological, getting our body to do what we want it to do. This is a straight out punch. Imagine somebody is your height and you're getting them right in this solar plexus area. That's the spot, right out in the middle there. So here we go. Make the fists, punch, open, fingers straight out, grab, like you're grabbing somebody's lapel or their shirt. Fingers are now down, wrist is bent. I'm like this, fingers down. And then one finger at a time, starting with pinky, next one, next one, next one, until the thumb comes in last and makes a punch. So here we go. This is the neurological mastery. Now pull, pull. As you punch, feel that. Open, grab, fingers pointing towards earth. One finger at a time, thumb is last to finish the fist. And pull and push, open. As far as the horse stance, you come wherever you're most comfortable, work at your level. High horse stance doing this is fine, middle, low, whatever your level is, do that. Really feel this, feel the fingers. One more each side. Again, high horse stance is totally fine here. You're still working the legs. And in, last one. Walk the feet in a little bit. Remember, I do heel toe, just like this. I flap my feet. It's the safest way to do that to not bother the knees. And just feel the legs, give them a little bit of love. I'm sure everybody's legs are a little sore. I know mine are. And I want to do bend bow, shoot the arrow, Qigong. I'll show you from the side because it's easier. Again, we're going to be doing bend bow. Remember, the spine is the bow. So bend bow, shoot the arrow. Bend bow, shoot the arrow. This is what's going on with the spine. The pelvis and the quad is also involved right here, holding at the quad. So here we go, bend bow. Try to get it going. Here we go, bend bow, shoot the arrow. Notice my wrist change. I'm going to show you from the front in a second. Bend bow, suck it in, absorb it like Liu. Push, Push. Push it out. Good. Bend bow, absorb it. Push. Show you from the front. Notice the pelvis. Spine is bending, straightening. Knees bending and straightening. Whole body is moving here. Next one, bring it in, push it out to the sides. Inhale. I inhale here, exhale. I exhale on the extension. This is the same thing, bend bow, shoot arrow. Bend bow, Qigong, but just out to the sides. One more. Let the hands slowly float down. Now we're going to do a little bit of leg strength and balance. We're going to do out of the yang style form. Golden rooster stands on one leg, from one side to the other, back and forth. No problem to have a chair nearby. No big deal. It really isn't. I started out with that. You could stand near a wall. You could have a chair nearby. Sometimes you just need to reach out and tap it, and that's it. It's not a big deal. Sometimes the wall, I need to tap it, or I need to just hold on to the wall with one finger. All good. It's all good. Okay? So just so you know, you have those options. And then eventually, before you know it, you'll stop touching the wall and you'll stop touching the chair. And then that's how you know your balance has really increased. So here we go. Let's just do it really mild. Shift the weight. The same hand with the same leg. Just toe touch it first. Then come down, shoulders width. Same arm comes up with the same foot. Toe touch. Step. Toe touch. So just get it down first. On the side, toe touch. Now bring it up a little bit higher, a couple inches. Toe touch. Control it. If you're not in control, don't come up as high. Notice the hands come out. I feel like I'm a bird just flapping its wings into the posture. So good for leg strength and balance, core. Mind. The mind is involved here. Getting the body to do what you want it to do. You're firing all sorts of neurotransmitters in the mind to get the body to do this smoothly, without glitches, fragments, soft, smooth, fluid. That's the goal. You may not be there yet, and that's okay, but that's the goal. One more. Come down, back to Wu Qi, and a little bit more of the neuro stuff. Either sit or stand, and I want you to try to get your foot to go in a circle. I'm raising mine up higher just so you can see it, but you can keep it nice and low. Circle one way, circle it the other way. If you have any glitches or pauses, or it's not a circle, it's just something to work on. You can work on it when you're seated on the couch or standing. Try the other foot, test it out. So this foot, I'm glitchy. My mind right now is telling this foot to make a circle. My foot is pretty much making either a square or a triangle. So I've got some glitches going on between my mind and my foot, and reverse it. Now reversed is a little bit better. So that's something I've been working on. So just checking the body, checking in, seeing what's working. Hands, let's bring the hands into it. And lube the joints a little bit for the last 10 minutes. Again, lubing the joints, but also training the mind. Working the circuits of the mind, the neuro mastery, I call this. Neurological mastery. Getting the body to do what we want it to do. Add the fingers. Remember, these are figure eights. I'm going to go slow. Figure eights. Remember, the slower you go, actually, the harder it is on the nervous system. We can all show off and go fast, but the central nervous system really gets reset when we go slow. And the mind has to work harder when we go slow too. When we go fast, the mind sort of goes on autopilot. Doesn't have to work as hard. But when I force myself to go slow like this, my mind is really, like it's hard for me to talk and do this slowly. From here, open, reverse it. Notice, drawing 2 infinity signs in the air, one over on the left side of the air, one on the right side. Any glitches? Notice the elbows are floating. Now just wrists, wrist circles. This is just lubing the joints. Good. Reverse it. Elbows. Bring it up and in first. Elbows are floating in space, up and in. Keep the hands touching. Doesn't matter where they're touching. They're kind of in soft fists. Just let them touch. And then reverse it. Good. Now, walk the shoulders. Walk. Arms are out like here. Not bending at the elbows. Elbows are not bending. I want you to, one at a time, walk the shoulder forward. This is a great way to put it. Walking, walking, walking. Okay, we're walking the shoulders. And notice what happens when we walk one shoulder at a time. Forward, by the way, we're walking first, then we'll walk backwards next. Feel your rib cage. Feel the way your rib cage starts to open between the ribs, those spaces. Feel your shoulder blades start to move. Again, shoulder blades moving, massages heart and lungs, super important. Reverse it. Walk back one shoulder, walk back with the other shoulder. Reverse it. Notice my hips are engaged. Good, let that go. Shake it out, good. Now, more on the hips. This really will help with walking. We're going to make figure eights with our hips. So I want you to imagine you're taking the outer part of your hip and you've got a wall here and you've got a wall here. And I'm taking my hip and I'm brushing it, I'm wiping the wall. So let's take this hip, mirror me. This hip goes forward, over to the wall, and it brushes against the wall and goes backwards. Now this hip goes forward against the wall. It brushes against the wall and goes backwards. Now this hip goes forward. So see what I'm making? Figure eight, brush the wall. Come forward, brush the wall. Forward, brush the wall. See the figure eight? I'll draw it with my finger. It's this way. Now it's this way. figure eight or infinity sign, however you want to look at it. Okay, now let the body go. Now you know what I'm trying to do. Let it open up. This is so good for your gait, for the hip joints. Notice my knees, everything's moving here. I've got a weight shift going on. My knees are slightly bent. Now, go backwards. I'm going to brush the wall the opposite way. So here we go. Let's start with this hip, this side, and I go backwards and brush the wall forward. Now this hip goes backwards, brush the walls forward, brush the wall forward. So I'm doing the exact same thing, figure eights, but I've switched directions. Now my hip is going back, then forward, back, then forward. Now let it go. Once you have it, let it go. Notice my whole body is getting into this. Keep your hands on your thighs if you want. Come to center and big hip circles. Big ones. Really open them up nice and big. Notice where my hips are, my head's the opposite. Hips forward, head back. Hips to the side, head is to the other side. Hips back, my head is totally forward. Look at this. So notice what happens. My head is just coming along for the ride here, but I'm leading with the hips. A lot of people lead with the head. This is hip circles. We're leading with the hips. And over time, the circle should get bigger and bigger as you become more and more flexible. Good. Come up to center. Hands cross over and neck circles. Neck always needs it. So easy to forget about the neck. It needs some of our attention and our care. Holding this big computer processing brain. It's so heavy. And it holds it all day. Reverse it. Okay, bring it up. Relax the hands, shoulders up, look up. Should feel good. Drop the shoulders, look forward. Good. Shoulders up, look up. Drop the shoulders, look forward. One more. Shoulders up, look up. Drop the shoulders, look forward. And then those of you who remember this one, hand goes here, back over the ear, front hand back, the back of the hand on the cheekbone, and gently stretch. Gently stretch. We're not trying to crack our neck or adjust our neck. We're just gently stretching it to get just like even a couple centimeters, even a centimeter of a little bit more range of motion. This is a motion side to side that we lose as we age. So we're just giving it a little stretch. Sometimes I put my finger in my ear to kind of lock into it. Helps me have something to grab onto. A little stretch that way. Wow. So I have a little more range of motion this way than the other way. Observe it. Just witness it. Oh, you know what? This way I didn't look quite as far. And just observe it, and it's something that you can work on. Now let your head just tilt to one side. Cross fiber massage. This is the good stuff. Should feel good for the body. Rub it however you need to. Other side. Really pull. Good. Grab the back of the neck. Rub here. Excellent. Come back to Wu Chi. Put the hands underneath Dantian, right like this. Let me show you up close. So here's my belly button. My hands are like this under Dantian, just like this. And the bottom hand is going to come out first. This is called come to center. It's a wonderful way to wind down your practice. Bottom hand comes up. Just let it slowly float up. And it just wands straight down the body. Notice, see how my hand is? Like a karate chop. It's going through all my 7 chakras. Crown. Slow. Third eye. Aligning my chakras. Throat. Heart. Solar plexus. Navel. As it touches down. Root. Other hand on the bottom now comes out. Again, going through all of your chakras, crown, third eye, nice and slow, aligning your chakras, throat, heart, solar plexus, navel, root, vagus nerve. It's just pat yourself straight down the vagus nerve. This is a wonderful de-stressing technique. Good. Get the feet a little bit, walk the feet out wider. I'm not in horse stance, I'm just a little bit wider in my stance. Pull the chi up. This is called pulling down the heavens. Just a couple of these. Just pull the chi down from heaven as my hands are facing my head. And then as they get close to my body, they turn towards my body. One more of these. Let the hands make a diamond shape on Dantian. And I want you to breathe with me. A little bit of belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. I want you to, everyone keep their hands on their belly. That's your proprioceptive feedback. This is telling your brain what's going on down here. And if you're doing it correctly, I'm going to remove my hands just to show you what's going on here. So inhale, Buddha belly. Belly comes out. Exhale, belly comes in towards the spine and then up a little bit. Inhale. Buddha. Exhale, belly comes in towards the spine and up a little bit. So it's in and up, scoop. That activates the diaphragm. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. You should feel your belly breathing into your hand. And then as you exhale, your belly starts to pull away from your hand. Now take 5 fingers, put it on solar plexus. This is vagus nerve toning. Now, just breathe into that, your fingers. 5 fingers, looks like a starfish. On solar plexus, breathe. I do this when I can't sleep. Relax. Clap the hands. They should be warm by now. We're going to wrap it up. Bead the eyes. Take off your glasses if you have them. 2 fingers up the bridge of the nose, over third eye, out to the temples, wipe. 2 fingers down bridge of nose, under cheekbones, out to the ears, and pinch the ears. I pinch them from the top all the way down to the earlobes, and then I rub them with my palms. Should feel good. Rub the back of the neck. Shake. Take it off. Shift left, all the way left. Load up the left leg, yang. Right leg becomes yin. Push off the left leg. As the arms come out, the foot comes in, touches. Arms come up. Palms pointing down, shower heads, bathing the body in the sea of qi as the hands start to float down the body. Once they get in line with my body, they turn inward. Palms just floating through my auric field. Nice and slow. This is our come to center. One more of those. Bathe the body in qi. Feel like this waterfall of qi is just floating down the body, past your feet into earth. And last one, heart. We do 3 of those, 1 for mind, 1 for body, and last one for heart. And step into our day. Thank you so much for a beautiful practice today, everyone. I'll unmute everyone as you're departing. If you have any questions, please hang out.